Why, hello everybody, it's John from the GamerDuo here, and today we are doing our playoff predictions for the 2018-2019 season, and I'm actually really excited to see how this goes. Obviously, as you know, I am a Seahawks fan, so having the Seahawks in the playoffs is great, but I can't have that home bias, unfortunately. I wish I could. I wish I could be like, the Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl, because as much as I would love that, that is so unrealistic. I can't do that. So that tells you one team that's not making it to the Super Bowl. But let's start off with the Colts and the Texans. Now, the Colts have really turned on the Jets. They have been a team that, people have enjoyed watching. They have, I guess, this kind of sense of pride, this, we can do it mentality. They went from 1-5 to get to the playoffs at 10-6 in a kind of tough AFC playoffs this year. I think that this team is really good. I also think that the Texans team is a good team as well, but it all comes down to the defenses of these teams. The Colts defense is definitely better than the Texans defense. Home field advantage is definitely a fantastic thing to have, but I think that the Colts, with Andrew Luck being, I would say a better quarterback, better O-line, and everything else to protect, have Marlon Mack who runs the football decently well. I would say the Texans, not that they don't stand a chance. I do think it's going to be a close game, and being at home is going to really help the Houston Texans, but I do think that the Colts end up winning that game and going to the divisional round, which obviously that would pit them having to go against the Chiefs. So the Colts would be at the Chiefs, which means the next AFC game would be the Chargers and Ravens. Now, you're going to see, I think, where my kind of line is, so that might help. But I think that the Chargers and the Ravens game is definitely the hardest game to call, in my opinion. I do say it is because, yes, the Ravens did beat the Chargers 22-10, I want to say, in LA. And now they're at home, and they get a chance to kind of blow them out of the water again and do everything. But second games are always harder than the first. I think that the Chargers they obviously did not play well, but the Ravens played a really good game against them. So it is going to be a tough call. But second games are very much different than the first. And I do think that the Chargers will come out on top, and Phillip Rivers will go to the divisional round to play the Patriots. Now, like I said, the Baltimore Ravens have a very high likelihood of winning this game as well. But do they have the ability to have Lamar Jackson run the football a lot, or do you think that it's a one-trick wonder? I know that obviously he's been doing it successfully against a lot of teams. It is not just the Chargers, but the Chargers will try and develop a plan to stop Lamar Jackson, to keep Lamar Jackson down to 40, 30 some odd rushing yards, and he's going to have to attack the secondary. Now, the secondary is not the greatest secondary in the world, so Lamar Jackson can attack the secondary. And at home, I do feel like it's going to be a good game. And it's, like I said, the closest game this week is going to be the Chargers and the Ravens. But I did choose the Chargers. The next, we're going to touch on the Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. No, the Philadelphia Eagles. Holy crap, I can't believe I said that. Now, Nick Foles may or may not play this game, so it might be Sutherland or whatever his name is. If Sutherland plays, Bears lose, guaranteed. If Nick Foles plays, or did I say the Bears lose? If Sutherland plays, Bears win, guaranteed. If Nick Foles plays, I still believe the Bears win. Because if you look at the teams that Nick Foles has played against and had success against, the Rams, the Texans, the Washington Redskins, and then there was his other game that I can't even remember that got him into the ability to make the playoffs. most of those teams, I don't know what the other one was, I can't remember, are not that great defensively. The Texans have a decent defense. I don't know what they're ranked. They have a decent defense. That's all I know. But the Rams defense gives up at least 30 points a game. Most games. And you can't say it's because they went against good team or bad teams this year. Or, well, it would be good teams. They went against the Eagles. They got 30 points. They went against the Seahawks, who got 30 points both times. A team that did not really... They got 30 points a good amount of the season, but they got 30 points on them. The 49ers got 30 points on them, like, before they were not as good. And a lot of teams just got 30 points on this Rams team, and I think that the Eagles and the Bears are just going to suffocate the Eagles, and Khalil Mack and that defense is really going to bring them through to the divisional round. So I picked the Chicago Bears. Because literally the stoutest defense. I don't trust Mitch Trubisky very much. He has had a good season, but I don't trust him as a quarterback. But I do trust this defense to hoist them into the next round to go against the Rams. Which means that whoever wins, Dallas or Seattle, will go to the Saints. And, of course, as a home guy, I don't know, this could be a biased pick, but I'm picking Seattle. I think Seattle does have a better team than the Dallas Cowboys, but I do think that the Cowboys at home are going to be a tough test. I do not think that it's going to be an easy win for Seattle. Dak Prescott is really going to be the key. Can we stop the run to let Dak Prescott throw against our defense? Now, our defense has not been as good as prior years at all. I'm not saying that at all, but I think our defense can lock up on Amari Cooper, and I think that's going to be the key. Is Amari Cooper going to be able to get yards, get a bunch of chunk plays through our defense? And our defense is soluble, but I don't think that one man can beat our defense. I think it has to be a combination of Ezekiel Elliott playing well and then some of the receivers just playing lights out, because we do have breaks in coverages. Gary, every team does, but it seems like we have a lot of them sometimes. So the Dallas Cowboys could definitely exploit us at home, but I do think we end up winning. Now, obviously, all of our teams that have been eliminated now have X's on them, so sad to see those teams go, because I say that every team that made it to the playoffs this year deserved it. It wasn't anybody that didn't deserve it, so all these teams are in, and now we have the divisional round. The divisional round of the playoffs is going to be insane. We're starting with the Colts and the Chiefs. I think that Andrew Luck, as great of a quarterback as he is, I think Patrick Mahomes leads them to the playoff, or leads them to their win. They've been prepping for one of these teams. They have to prep for two teams, I think. Right? No, 4, 5, and 6. So they have to prep for 3 teams, and they got to choose one team that they think they're going to go against. And I think if they guess right, it's an easy win. But I do think that the Chiefs, this is going to be the biggest game as far as point spread. And I do think the Chiefs end up winning. They've had a great season. They're at home in Arrowhead. I do say that they win. And it's very quick, and I know that's a very quick assumption, but I do say that, and I can't really, I don't have a reasoning. I feel like the Chiefs are going to win. Next, we have Chargers-Patriots. Now, in Foxborough, it is very hard to win games. They have been a very good home team for a long time. Now, as much as they've been a very good home team, they have not been as good of a team as they have been last year. Last year was a year where they this year, they kind of just they won games, but they didn't really win them in convincing manner. They lost to teams I don't think they should have lost to. Miami is always a tough team, so that's one of the games I do think they should have lost. They are a tough team all the time, but they were very, very, very mad. They lost to the Jaguars, and teams like that, and I think that they're very beatable this year. Do I think the Chargers will be the team that beats them? That's good. Well, I mean, they have a lot of power. They've got Phillip Rivers, they've got a stout defense that can stop Brady in his tracks if they wanted to. But they do have one thing holding them back, and that is, well, is Melvin Gordon here? What is Melvin Gordon going to do? And is the heart of the Patriots team going to win them the game? And I honestly, again, this is another very toss-up-y game. It could go either way. But I do think that the Patriots end up winning in Foxborough by a 1 or 2 point margin. It's not going to be, it's not at all going to be a little difference game or a big difference game. It is going to be a small game. It's going to be a heart-wrenching game, and I do think that the Patriots do win. Next, we're touching on the Seahawks and Saints game. Now, I am going to be cheering my head off for this game. I want the Seahawks to win. I want everything to happen. But you're going against the Saints. You're going against a number one offense, or what feels like a number one offensive points scored. They have trailed off as of late. Yes, I can give you that. They have trailed off. But they get 2 weeks of rest. Well, essentially, because they didn't have to play their starters, and they just have it super, super easy at the moment. They have time to just analyze, see what they've been doing, see how to improve, do everything right. And 2 weeks of rest, sometimes it hurts you, but most of the time it helps you out. And I'm going to say that it does help the Saints out. And the Seahawks do keep their streak of losing to NFC South teams on the road in the divisional round to kick them out. Then we have the Bears and Rams. That game is going to be crazy. Last time these two teams met, it was in Chicago, I want to say. And, well, it was a 15-6 win for the Bears. But the Bears' defense was what came in clutch for them. The Bears' defense scored the touchdown and then the 2-point conversion. I think there was some sort of 2-point conversion. It was a safety. No, it was a safety. They got the safety to take the lead, and then they went on to score a touchdown. Now, does the Bears team fare well against the Rams in LA? I do think the Bears have a good shot at winning this game. I say that the Bears defense keeps and reins in Jared Goff like they did last time. But in LA, this game is completely different than what it was in Chicago. I do think LA finds some kind of ways to have spurts, and the Rams kind of just get a good amount of points, but not like they've been used to. But I do say on 2 weeks of rest that the Bears do end up losing to the Rams, probably by 3 points, a 3-point margin. So all of our road teams did end up faltering, is what I'm seeing. Yeah, all of the road teams did end up faltering, and so it's the 1 seed and the 2 seeds battling it out again for the second time this season. So now, because both of these teams matched up together at some point during the season. The 1 seed beat the 2 seed, I want to say both times. So what happens this time? Well, this time it's with the Patriots and the Chiefs. I do think the Chiefs do have a good advantage being at home. They kind of do what they do what they need, and they have fun doing it. Now, I think they do put in some massive work against this Patriots team, and, home field advantage is a huge thing in the playoffs, and I do think it continues with the Patriots not being your Super Bowl team, and that the Chiefs end up being your Super Bowl contender for the AFC. So, what happens next afterwards? Well, I think what happens after the Chiefs beat the Rams, or the Chiefs beat the Patriots, is going to be the Rams and the Saints game. I think that game is going to be your night game. And, well, with that being said, in the Dome, the Saints already beat the Rams. The Rams already had their shot to kind of burst through, but I do think the Saints have surged as of late, and they've I think that 2 weeks of rest and that that home field advantage is definitely going to help them. And I do pick the Saints over the Rams, which means only one thing, and that your Super Bowl is the Super Bowl for the 1 seeds with the Saints and the Chiefs in Atlanta, Georgia, a place that the Chiefs team is very familiar with. Not the Chiefs, the Saints are familiar with. They go there once a year, and I think that the Saints have kind of a pseudo home field advantage there. They got more people that would show up, but both teams are going to have, it's going to be a good Super Bowl. I do think that the Chiefs have an offensive prowess over the Saints at this point in the season. I do think that the Saints can run the ball, though, and NFL analysts and myself are going to say this too. I think that the team that beats the Chiefs is going to be the team that runs and smash mouths on them. The Seahawks beat them doing it that way, and some of the losses were due to the smash mouth mentality of just running the football. And they've got Alvin Kamara, they've got a bunch of good studs, and I do think this is the year that the Saints win the Super Bowl. Now, I'm going to end this video off saying this is my opinion. This is what I think is going to happen. My thoughts are different from everybody else's. People will think different things. So, if there's something that you think that I didn't consider or did wrong, let me know. I want to know your thoughts and your opinions in a constructive way. That's your challenge. Constructive. But I think, like I said, I think that this is a very solid kind of way to go. I do think like I said, the Chargers games, both of them are the hardest to call. In my opinion, that is the hardest games to call, is both the Chargers games. So let me know in the comment section below what you believe is going to happen, what I got wrong, what I got right. We're a small channel that is trying to aspire into something more. So if we could get some likes, comments, and subscriptions, that would be fantastic. And if you wanted to see it, Pokemon content and Madden stuff, if you guys want me to bring it back, I'll figure out a way to bring it back. And yeah, general Let's Plays and all that stuff. We're trying to hit 1,000 this year, hopefully more. And we will see you in the next episode of whatever we do. Bye-bye!